Okay, for this demonstration, I'm going to prepare my slab for my bas relief. And I had taken some images online. These are fruit and vegetable labels. So this is how it was, and I reorientated it before I printed and made it landscape. And so I'm thinking about this one. This is another nice one. Bas relief shows depth, but all on the same material or surface. Here's another. These are all citrus labels. Some really nice classic graphics. I think I'm going to go for the big Pelican, and what I need to do first is to create my slab. I'm going to be using wood sticks, and I want to create lots of depth, and I want to have some thickness and strength. So I wouldn't go any thinner than 2 of these yardsticks, but I'm going to go 3 yardsticks on this one. So what I'm going to do first is prep my slab. I'm going to need a slab that's the thickness of 3 yardsticks and slightly bigger than this image. When I do carve this, I'm probably going to omit all of this stuff and just keep the Pelican. And I might even remove the crown. I might keep it. I'm not sure. But definitely going to do the Pelican. So first, what I'm going to do is get my clay ready. And again, you want your clay thicker than what your finished slab is, and we're going to coax it. So I'm thinking this is probably going to take at least half a bag for something that size and of this thickness. So what I'm going to do first is let's check. I'm pretty much there this way. So, and I'm just going to start dropping the clay, stretching it a little bit, getting it close. Okay. I hope I am in frame here. Yeah, and that's pretty close. So now, put it here, and we can rotate this both ways. So I'm going to start this way, and make sure your yards or your rolling pin. Again, this is a 2-inch dowel. Make sure that is clean, and your fabric is clean. And just always start from the center. Okay, and work in one direction. And I'm not going to do this completely on just this side. I want enough material. I'm checking again. Yeah, I have enough material. I can just stay here. But if this wasn't long enough, I would turn the sticks this way and give a compression in that direction. Okay. And again, these yardsticks are almost 1/4 of an inch. So 2 would be very close to 1/2 inch, and 3 would be 3/4. So you want to make sure you have at least 1/4 of an inch of slab that does not have any carving on it. Well, you don't want to go any shallower than 1/4 of an inch. So that's why it's important to have a nice thick slab. And again, a bas relief, we're going to show depth on the surface by just carving away and rounding, and you'll get the idea here. So first part is prepping the slab and transfer of the design. So that's pretty good. And again, we want the slab to be slightly firm when we transfer it. And as we start carving, we're going to want the slab to be firm but not dry, okay? So this is going to be something that you're going to need to maintain consistency. And there we go. I got a 3/4 of an inch slab. I'm going to get the blow dryer, and I'm going to stiffen the surface up slightly. So when I do the transfer, the paper won't stick. If it's really wet like this clay's pretty soft right out of the bag. You know, you can see right here, I can easily press on it. So what I'm going to do now is put a skin on it so this paper doesn't stick after I transfer the design. Okay, and one of the things you need to consider is this dowel has wood grain, right? This has been laid round, but it's leaving some texture there. So what I want to do again, I want that before I transfer my design, I want the slab super smooth. So if you had a piece of fabric on top and we're rolling it, like if we flip this over, we could see the texture of the fabric. We're going to want to have all that smoothed out before we do the design transfer. So I'm going to use, this is what we call here in the studio a rusty rib, and I'm not adding a ton of water. I just want to get it wet so it slides. And I'm just going to scrape in a couple of different directions. Okay. And get any imperfections on the surface off. And I'm going to check right now again to make sure I have enough surface area. Nice, that's going to work. So I'm going to put this clay away, and I'm going to keep the clay moist, wrap it up, and I'm going to keep drying and get that moisture off the surface here. So okay, I want to flip this over and show you what the texture would be on the other side. If you do pick up your slab right now, you want to make sure that you don't distort it and get it any thinner. Again, this clay is pretty soft. I'm not going to use my fingers. I'm going to use my hands. Okay, there's the other side. I'm going to scrape this too. This will be the back of the bas relief. So I'm going to clean this up as well. Once I start carving, I won't be able to do that. But I'm going to clean this up. The quality of your work on the front and the back is important, especially if you're going to be selling your work in a gallery, or you want to show quality on all sides of the work you present. Okay, again, this is pretty soft, so I'm going to just gently pick it up without stretching it. There. And I'll check one more time. You can roll it out, get it all smooth, get it super clean, and then just leave it in ambient room temperature if you don't have your heater on. By no means take it outside and leave it outside. It will dry and the clay will start to curl on you. The ends will dry faster than the center. So we just want to get it firm enough. Let me go this direction. We just want to get it firm enough that the paper won't stick. And you'll find when you're doing your carving, the we don't need all of this clay here. We got more than enough clay, so I need room for my sticks. And you can see the thickness we're going for. Okay. But as you start carving, you'll find the consistency of the clay that works best for removing material without causing any distortions. You know, too soft, the clay tools can actually leave little crumbs, and as you cut, it just re-sticks right back to the clay. And if it's too hard, then you're scraping off powder, and you don't get very clean cuts. It's more like scraping or sanding with sandpaper. So, first step, prepare your slab. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to let this sit at room temperature for probably a half hour to an hour, and just let the skin develop. Here I am in the studio. Afterwards, the next video, I'm going to transfer my design. I'll show you how to do that, and I'm also going to trim up the edges of my piece, and I'm actually going to be creating a border. So this will be a framed artwork. The art inside the frame and everything is all just one piece of clay. So this is the beginnings of our bas relief project. Okay.